Good, good morning. Yeah, good morning, Akim. This is a new day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice. We will be glad in it. Akim, I will start by saying, I will give thanks to thee, Yahweh, with my whole heart. For the needy shall not be forgotten perpetually. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. I will give thanks to Yahweh with my whole heart because He woke me up. I am one of the chosen. By His mercy, I confess in my mouth, I am one of the elect. Having faith in the Son, Yahweh Shai. Now, I want to talk about reincarnation. So I'm going to title this as Reincarnation 2. The purpose of this video or teaching is to let all the Negroes, the African Americans, all around the world, all you people that do not know your history, all you people that have forgotten the ancient part, your history, this message is for you. Those of you whose history is changing every 20 years, those of you who are labeled and given names, bywords, this video is for you. This video is intended to bring you back, to bring back your memory, to rouse you, Baraha, to rouse you, Baraha, to rouse you, to quicken your spirit, to juggle your memory, to bring you back. Hearing this word, the Holy Spirit will quicken you. Rawakaha Kadasha. Rawakaha Kadasha. That's the Holy Spirit. Rawakaha Kadasha. And it is the same word that is used for wind. So this telecast is meant to juggle you, to bring you back to yourself. If you know, when you know the truth will make you free. And when you have known the truth, and you schooled yourself in the word, having weaned yourself milk and you're chewing the meat, you are wise. You know how to chew the meat and pick off the bone of the meat it so that you don't choke yourself when you eat fish. The wise knows as to eat. The wise, there's one prophet that here was preached someday that when you want to eat vegetable soup, that soup, there's only fish. You make sure the kids are not around when you're eating this delicious vegetable soup, because the adults know how to pick out the bones and eat the flesh of the fish. The children does not know how to pick out the bones and eat the flesh. If the kids and the babies are around, they will choke themselves and you go to hospital. Right, where do I start with this? Numbers. Okay, let me start with Apocrypha. Greek Apocrypha of Ezra. I'll start with that. Greek Apocrypha of Ezra, chapter 6. I'll start from verse Ezra's struggle with his soul. Ezra struggles with his soul. I'll start from this chapter 6, verse 3. So, Ezra, Greek Apocrypha of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 3 to verse 3 to 26, but I will stop at 16. Then the voice came to me, "Come here, die, Ezra, my beloved. Give back that which has been entrusted to you." And the prophet said, "And whence can you bring forth my soul?" And the angel said, "We can cast it forth through your mouth." And the prophet said, "I spoke mouth to mouth with God, and it will not go out from there." And the angel said, "We will bring it forth through your nostrils." And the prophet says, "My nostrils smell the glory of God." And the angel said, "We can bring it forth through your eyes." And the prophet said, "My eyes have seen the back of God." And the angel said, "We can bring it forth through your head." And the angel said, so they did not complete that sentence, they cut it off. So, okay, let me continue. And the angel said, "We can bring it forth through your feet." See, because that's maybe they deliberately took it out, or the text or the papyrus or the original text has been corrupted. I don't know. But they did not complete that. You can bring out your soul through your head. And the angel said, "We can bring it forth through your feet." And the prophet said, I walked with Moses on the mountain, and it will not come forth from there. And the angel said, we can cast it forth through the tips of your nostrils. Yeah. And the prophet said, "My feet walk in the sanctuary." And the angel said, and angels departed unsuccessfully, saying, "Lord, we cannot receive his soul." Then he said to his only begotten son, "Go down, my beloved son, with with a numerous host of angels, taking the soul of my beloved Ezra. For the Lord, having taken numerous army of many angels, said to prophet. I think I will continue. I will read it to 26, saying to for the Lord, having taken a numerous angel of many army angels, said to prophet, give me that deposit which I entrusted to you. The crown is ready for you. And the prophet said, Lord, if you take my soul from me, who will you have left to plead on behalf of the race of men? And God said, you who are mortal and earthly, do not plead the case with me. And the prophet said, I shall never cease pleading. And God said, this is Yahweh Shai talking to him. Give, in the meanwhile, that which is entrusted to you. The crown is ready for you. Come here, die, so that you may attain it. Then the prophet began to speak with tears. Oh Lord, what profit is it? What profit it that I plead the case with you? I am going to fall to the earth. Woe, woe, for I will be consumed by worms. Bewail me, all holy and pious ones. I plead greatly, and I am delivered over to death. Bewail me, all holy and just one, because I have entered the bowels of Hades. Now, you see the little grammar here. This is taking place in the vision of sleep or in the spirit. Now, this is taking place Ezra is having a spiritual encounter here and is having conversation, and the angel was sent to gather to extract his soul from his body so that he can die. And Ezra is going back and forth with the angel, and through this test we reveal that your soul can be extracted from your toenails, from your head, from your eyes, from your nostrils, from your mouth. So there are a million ways to skin the cat. That's what the angels is telling Ezra. We can skin your cat, we can skin you, we can extract you. So that is what is going on here. And you see the respect the angels showed to Ezra. He went back to God. This man is not allowing us to gather. So, yeah. That shows the position of Ezra in heaven. That means Ezra is higher. The position of Ezra is higher than that angel that came to collect his soul. Remember in my first video, I said, in my previous video, I said, we were angels in heaven, but we are sent to earth. We play our part, then we go back. When we are sent to earth, God limits our capacity by by taking our memory, by working on our memory. So he limits our memory, he limits our knowledge, he limits our wisdom. So in this body of flesh, we don't remember who we are in heaven. We start fresh to learn everything on earth. But that does not mean we were not angels. We see the world is set like a theater stage, like a drama. The Father is the director. His Son is the producer. We are the actors and extras, and we are playing our part. And we are playing our part on earth. Now, the reason I put there, I read that is to indicate that is to highlight reincarnation. Reincarnate. Angels can incarnate. Angels regularly incarnate or come. I don't have the language for it, man. I'm a bit tongue-tied, but you get what you get my meaning. Now, precept. Let me look at Apocrypha of Shadrach. Apocrypha of Shadrach. Apocalypse of Shadrach, sorry. Apocalypse of Shadrach 2, 1-5. And he had a hidden voice in his ears. Here, Shadrach, you see, this word Apocalypse of Shadrach, I just believe those whoever transcribed our book, they are playing on words and they are obfuscating here. They are covering. They don't want us to know this is a play of words, just like Ezra and Shadrach. Shadrach is the same thing. Esdras and Ezra, they are the same person. It is my own word. I just believe this Shadrach here is the same person, Ezra. That is my suspicion. That is my own suspicion. My own imagination is at play here. Get it? I contest that this Shadrach here is the same person, Ezra. He had a hidden voice in his ears. Here, Shadrach, you who wish and desire to talk with God and to ask Him to reveal to you the things you wish to ask. And Shadrach said, what is it, my Lord? And the voice said to him, I was sent to you that I may carry you up into heaven. And he said, I want to speak to God face to face, but I am not able, Lord. I am not able, Lord, to ascend into the heavens. But the angel having stretched out his wings took him and went up into the heavens, and took him up as far as the third heaven, and the flame of the divinity stood there. Um, 1-5. Numbers 12 and 8. And he said unto them, lodge here this night, and I will. 12, sorry. 12 and 8. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Okay. Let me read from verse 6. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all of my house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then, were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Remember, the topic is reincarnation. I introduce your father to you, Israel, Achiam. I, today, 24th January 2020, I introduce your father to you. You that do not know who you are, your father, your nation, your language has been taken from you through slavery, through the hardship of slavery. They separate you from your parents. They transport you around about the world. You do not know who your father is. I introduce your father to you. Your father, Ezra here, was Abraham, who was Levi, who was Moses, and Ezra, and Paul. I say again, Ezra was Paul. Ezra was Abraham. He came back as Levi, and Levi came back as Moses. And Moses came back as Ezra. Ezra came back as Paul. Jacob to you. Adam came back as Enoch. Enoch came back as Jacob. Jacob came back as Solomon. And Solomon came back as Yahushua. And I gave precepts. Scriptures. Greek Apocrypha of Ezra 7:1-4. And God said to him, hear, Ezra, my beloved one. I, being immortal, received a cross. I went on the cross. See, Yahushua is talking to him. Remember when I first read Ezra from Greek Ezra from 6, Yahweh, the Father sent the Son with innumerable number of angels to collect the soul of Ezra. Because the first angel who was arguing with him back and forth could not collect his soul. And God sent the one that created his soul to collect it for him. The Father sent the Son. The Son is the one that created that soul. Go and collect. That shows you Yahweh Shai is not equal with the Father. In the real sense of equality. He is the Son. He takes orders. He takes instruction from the Father. He sent him to collect Ezra's soul. Now this conversation continues in chapter 7, Soul and Body. Title of the chapter 7. Yeah, Soul and Body. And God said to him, "Hear, Ezra, my beloved one. I, being immortal, I went on a cross, received a cross. I tasted vinegar and gall." Who tasted vinegar and gall on the cross? Is it not Yahweh Shai? I was sent down in a grave. He went to the grave 3 days. I raised up my elect ones. That means he went to hell and he preached to the ones in the grave. And I summoned up Adam from Hades. He collects the soul of the righteous ones from Satan. He collects their soul from earth. See, the earth kept their soul, or they were resting in Hades. So Hades is when you are buried in the ground. Hades is just deep, a hole deep in the ground you're buried. There is no place called Hades or hell. So that he collect their soul. I mean, they were in the grave. He collect their soul. He preached to them. He preached to them. He collect their soul. He revived them. So that the race of men, they didn't complete that sentence. Therefore, fear not death, for that which is from me, that is the soul. That which is from me, that is the soul. I created soul. I make souls. Yahweh Shai created souls. He makes souls. That is the soul. Therefore, fear not death, for that which is from me, that is the soul. Departs from heaven. That which is from earth, that is the body. Departs from the earth, from which it was taken. And the prophet said, Woe, what shall I do? How shall I act? How shall I know not. So, eventually they collected his souls. He died. So, Ezra's soul, Ezra went into the heaven in a chariot. Ezra went into heaven in a chariot. He collected his soul. Ode of Solomon. Ode of Solomon. Ode of Solomon. Chapter 11, verse 15. Ode of Solomon. Where are you? and my breath was refreshed by my pleasant by the pleasant fragrance of the Lord. Remember, he said, angel says, I can extract your soul from through your nostril. And the prophet Ezra said to the angel, I smell the fragrance of God when he passed in front of me. So you cannot. My nose has smelled the fragrance of God. So you cannot take my soul from my nose. So the precept, and my breath was refreshed by the pleasant fragrance of the Lord. So when God went into hell, he refreshed the souls of the saints in Hades. He breathed into them. He refreshed them through his word. He preached to them. That is what he preached to them and he refreshed them. He roused their spirit. He refreshed them, because you have to understand, God created through command. He speaks and it comes to pass. He commands. He does not have to go. He does not have to go into the laboratory to start putting things together. No, he commands. He speaks, and it comes to pass. Exodus 33. Exodus chapter 33, verse 23. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back part, but my face shall not be seen. Again, I remind you, Ezra was arguing back and forth with the angel. He said, I have seen the back of God. Remember? So this is the precept. So Moses is the one that saw the face of God. So that is in reincarnation there. But Ezra was talking in the spirit. He was having a vision of sleep. He was not talking in his natural sense. He was talking in the spirit with the angels. So he was talking. He doesn't even know what he was talking about. He was talking secret things. He was speaking words that are secret, words that are spiritual. He does not know what he was speaking in his natural mind. He was not in his natural state when he was going back and forth with the angel. He said, I smell the presence of God. I smell the back of God. So I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen. So Ezra was Moses. Through thy precept I get understanding. That's Psalm 119. Through thy precept I get understanding. Now, chapter 9, verse 1 to 5. Chapter 9, verse 8. Chapter 11, verse 8. Verse 11. Chapter 17, verse 1. 20, verse 7. These are precepts. I will not read it here, but for the sake of people who are watching, who want to learn, I will read it. But for you who have learned, who have weaned yourself with milk, you are wise. You will receive this. See, if you're a baby, if you're young, if you're new in this truth, stick to the scriptures, stick to the Bible, specifically King James. Listen Sit before your teachers. Learn. If this word I'm speaking to you now, if it's too heavy for you, that should not trouble your mind. That should not trouble you too much. Leave it. Stick to the milk of the word. The milk of the word is the commandment, the precept, the ordinance, the directions. Those are the milk of the word. Remember, our Father they do not speak in abstract. Whenever you see abstract thinking or thought in the scriptures, that is not the handiwork of our fathers. Those are the handiwork of the Masoretics. And they did that so that they could understand and remember what they did. That is the only way they could understand it. They have to bring abstract thought into it. Our Father, when they say, I see angel, they will describe and they will tell the name of the angel. Our Father call things by their functions. They call things by what, let's say, for example, what things do they call by their function? Okay, a pencil, for example. What is a pencil? Our Father will call that pencil by its functions. That is how Hebrew works. But European, it is a pencil. What is a pencil? Writing instrument. And colored yellow or colored red or colored pencil or pen can come in different colors. But an European thought a pencil or a pen, and European expect you to understand what it means. What is a pen? I don't know what a pen is. But our Father bring meaning to the pen, say, a writing instrument. See, a tree planted by the river of water. See, our Father used those language because that is because Hebrew or Israelite are agricultural people, agrarian. They work with the earth, and they use earthly things to describe the world around them. And the words they use can be felt, can be touched, can be seen, can be smelled, can be perceived with senses. So Hebrew words, Hebrew letters work with 5 senses. The Hebrew language works with our 5 senses. It can be touched, it can be smelled, it can be perceived, it can be smelled, it can be seen. Yeah. The language of the Hebrew is very earthy. It is not abstract. So going forward, you should remember this. And when you are reading the Bible, always remember that our Father, that their language is very earthy, very natural, very earthy. There's no abstract. So when you see abstract thought, it's an obfuscation, and covering up. When you see abstract thought in the Bible, in the scriptures, it is a covering up. What shall I say? The Masoretic do not understand this. So they use abstract thought to describe it. The Masoretic did a wonderful job. Certain things was hidden from them too. They did not touch our records. They did not touch our records with faith. They were faithless people. So they deal with our records with objectively. They deal with our records objectively. If you have this book, in the footnotes, in the preamble, in the introduction, or in the history of the text, they've said this. They say they have many school of thought. They have many branches arguing back and forth among themselves. They do not believe. They have no faith. But they interpret, they transcribed, they combed the word thoroughly. They combed those words thoroughly. So they did God walk with them. God walked with them. God first of all took the word from us and He gave it to them, and He walked through their minds, and they did a thorough work on these words. They did a thorough job. They combed it so well. So God used them to preserve our book. God used them to preserve our book. That is why they're hanging up, they latch on to this, our heritage, which they claim is theirs. It is not theirs, but they've done work enough to claim it is theirs. But they were converts. They were forced to believe. They were forced to convert into a culture which is not just by John Alcanius. They were converted 740 AD. So there's record that they were converted. There's record that they were forced to embrace this culture so that because they were forced into this culture. Hebraic culture. Hebrew is a culture. Israel is a nation. Israel, Zion, is a people before it became a nation. Israel is a surname of him. In fact, Israel is an angel. Man seeing God. Prince with God. Prince of power. That's what Israel means. A man seeing God. Prince of the power. That's what Israel really means. The root was because those who interpret this word, the root, see, I will not say where, because I don't want them to increase the price of that book. I want to get my hand on that book. It's actually the book I'm talking about. It's an encyclopedia. Interpretation of root words. I don't want to popularize it through this. I want to get it and I want to popularize it. Testament of Abraham. Chapter 7, verse 12. Now, do know that you are an angel of the Lord, and you were sent to take my soul. Nevertheless, I will not by any means follow you, but you do whatever you see. Who else was arguing back and forth with angels when they want to collect his soul? Ezra. And this is in Testament, the same thing that Ezra did and that Abraham did. Word for word, almost. He was arguing back and forth with the angel that wanted to collect his soul, telling him to die. I will collect your soul now. And he sent the angel back. I'm not going. You can do whatever you have, but I am not dying today. That's what Abraham literally said in today's language. That's what it means. If I read, okay, I will read chapter 7 to 12, 1 to 12. 1 to 12. Then Abraham left Sarah and entered the room and said to Isaac, "Come, my beloved son, tell me the truth." Because Isaac slept, he had a dream. And the dream troubled him. He was crying and he was troubled so heavily. And what were the things that you saw? And what happened to you that you came running to us? You know, when the children sleep and they cry from in their sleep and they run to your bedroom. I have a nightmare, I have a dream. Yeah. Isaac answered and began to say, "My Lord, I saw this night the sun and the moon above my head, and its rays were encircling and shedding light on me. And while I was thus watching and exulting at these things, I saw heaven opened, and I saw a light-bearing man coming down out of heaven, flashing beams of light, more than 7 suns, and that sun like man, or the man that looked like a son coming from heaven, came up and took up the sun from my head, and it went up into the heavens, whence also he had come. And I was deeply grieved that he had taken the sun from me. After a little while, as I was still grieving and anguishing, I saw that man for a second time coming out of heaven, and he took from me also the moon from my head. And I cried greatly, and I besought that light-bearing man, and I said, "No, my Lord, do not take my glory from me. Have mercy and heal me. And if you take the sun from me, at least leave the moon with me." But he said, "Let them be taken up to the king above, because he wants them there." And he took them from me, but he left the rays with me. The commander-in-chief said, "Hear, righteous Abraham, the son which your son saw in me is you. You are the son, his father, and the moon similarly is his mother Sarah. And the light-bearing man who came down from heaven, this is the one sent from God, who is about to take your righteous soul from you. And now, know, most honored Abraham, that as at this time you are about to leave the earthly life and journey to God." And Abraham said to the commander-in-chief, "O most surprising wonder of wonders, and is it you then who are about to take my soul from me?" Then commander-in-chief said to him, "I am Michael, the commander-in-chief." who stand before God. And I was sent to you, and I might announce to you and to mention your death, to mention of death. And then I shall return to him, just as we were commanded. And Abraham said, Now I do know that you are an angel of the Lord, and you were sent to take my soul. Nevertheless, I will not by any means follow you, but you do whatever he commands you to do. Going back and forth with the angel. Remember, I told you in my previous video that Joseph in the scripture is incarnation of angel Michael. Michael incarnate as Joseph. Angel Michael played the part of Joseph on earth. So that Joseph was Michael. If you can receive this word, that is it. Receive it. So, let me also 4th Ezra 14. 4th Ezra 14 verse 23. 4th Ezra 14. Where is it? Verse 23. The Lord commissions Ezra's prayer for inspiration to restore the scriptures. Okay. Now, here Ezra was praying for inspiration to restore the scriptures, because the scriptures, as he said in his scripture, the scriptures were burnt during the first sack of Jerusalem. The first temple was sacked. They burnt the scriptures, the scrolls. So Ezra was praying for to be given the Holy Spirit and the wisdom and the power to restore all the scriptures. In his answer, the response to this prayer, God actually restored the scripture through Ezra, and he gave him 94 books. Is it 94? No. Yeah, 94 books. God gave Ezra 94 books, and he wrote them in. He dictated 94 books to 5 scholars that he personally chose. Men who were 5 boys. He chose 5 boys, and he dictated. It was in the spirit. It was not alive. It was in the spirit. And they were night and day was dictating. So it was in the spirit. So those of you who says the white man, the book was written by man. No, this book, our scripture, was not written by man. It is written by God through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. That is the true answer. So when you want to, if somebody tell you it was written by man, no, tell them you're speaking foolishly. Our Father wrote this book through the inspiration. Take it or leave it. So he answered and said, Go and gather the people and tell them not to seek you for 40 days, but prepare for yourself many writing tables, and take with you Sariah, Dabria, Selemiah, Ethanius, and Asiel, 5 boys. These 5, because they are trained to write rapidly. They are trained to write rapidly. So our Father can write. They can read and write. So for you Europeans that will think that we cannot read, how can you have a record if you cannot read and write? This is our record, it's not yours, it's our record. So for you people that was asking stupid questions on the street, because I'm watching the videos and I'm watching the video of Hebrew Israelite on the street, and the questions some people ask, like, it's so abominable questions, man. Because they are trained to write rapidly, and you shall come here, and I will light in your heart the lamp of understanding. I will give you understanding. The spirit of understanding will enter into you, which shall not be put out until what you are about to write is finished. Do you get it? And when you are finished, some things you shall make public, and some you shall deliver in secret to the wise. Tomorrow at this hour you shall begin to write. So the wise are those who are weaned from milk. Those who are practiced in the word. Those who are practiced, those who are grounded in the foundation, are those who are weaned from milk. Those are the wise. So, 70 books sealed, 24 books given. Yeah, and I don't want to make this video too long. 4th Ezra 10:14. One more. 4th Ezra 10:14. One more scriptures. Okay. Then I said to you, as you brought forth in sorrow, so the earth also. 10:46. Sorry, 10:46. And after 3,000 years, Solomon built. Okay, you will not. I'll read it in context so that you can get it. I'll read from. The angel was interpreting a vision, the vision of Ezra to him. Prophet Ezra was dreaming, and he asked the angel, "What is the meaning?" So it is a spiritual encounter Ezra is having. This is part of the visions. The Greek, actually, the 4th Ezra or 2nd book of Ezra is all visions, all in the spirit. This was conversation taking place in the spirit. Most of second Ezra or 4th Ezra. These are conversations taking place in the spirit. Ezra was not in his natural state. Now, I will start from verse 40. Ezra 10:40. 4th Ezra chapter 10 verse 40. This therefore is the meaning of the vision. The woman who appeared to you a little while ago, whom you saw mourning and began to console, but you do not see the form of a woman, but an established city has appeared to you. And as for her telling you about the misfortune of her son, this is the interpretation. Okay, a woman appeared to Ezra mourning for her child. That was when he was in the field of flowers, where no house was built, where no man was in the field. And the angel told him, eat only flowers. Do not eat bread, do not drink, nothing. Just eat flowers. Okay, this is the interpretation. Where is it? Okay. This woman, whom you saw, whom you now behold as an established city, is Zion. And for telling you that she was barren for 30 years, it is because there were 3,000 years. There were 3,000 years in the world before any offering was offered in it. So from Noah to Solomon, the earth was 3,000 years. From Noah to Solomon was 3,000 years. And after 3,000 years, Solomon built. It is because there was 3,000 years in the world before any offering was offered in it. And after 3,000 years, Solomon built the city and offered offering in it, offered offerings. Then it was that the barren woman bore a son. So Solomon, the child of the son of the barren woman, the child of the barren woman, Solomon, was Yahawashai. That's why Solomon is Yahawashai, incarnate. The son of the barren woman, Zion, is the barren woman. Remember Numbers 23, the barren woman. Numbers 23, Numbers chapter 23, yeah. First Samuel chapter 2, verse 1 to 10. She talked about barren woman. The barren woman is Zion. As for her telling you that she brought him up with much care, that was the period of residence. So the period of peace when Jerusalem was in peace. And as for her saying to you, when my son entered his wedding chamber, he died, and that misfortune has overtaken her, that was the destruction which befell Jerusalem. So this is and behold, you saw her likeness, how she mourned for her son, and you began to console her for what had happened. For the Most High, seeing that you were sincerely grieved and profoundly distressed for her, has shown you the brightness of her glory and the loveliness of her beauty. So Ezra saw the new Jerusalem coming down from heaven. So Ezra, God showed him, because of your mourning and prayer for your people, because of your true, sincere grief for the woman that was crying, God showed you the brightness and the glory of that woman, New Jerusalem. Ezra saw the future, the New Jerusalem. So, this concludes my teaching on reincarnation. So, reincarnation is part of the Hebraic culture. It's our culture. Our names reflect reincarnation. Our names reflect reincarnation. Babatunde, Yetunde, that's reincarnation. Go to West Africa, the language, listen to them when they talk. Especially the old ones, the kings, hunters, the wise men, herbalists, all those things. They talk about our fathers a lot. They talk our fathers, our father this, our father that. And my auntie before he died, Olowo ori mi. My auntie is calling me her husband. My auntie is calling me her lord. When this is how my auntie. The first time I went back to our hometown, my mom took me there. Come back up. Come back. She's still greeting you. I said, sure. I said, oh. She greeted me 10 minutes flat out. She was still greeting me. She was reading my Oriki. I don't know how to say the Oriki. Oriki in English, or I don't know what the word for Oriki is in English. That's my granny. My auntie, call me Olowo ori mi. That means my husband, my lord. That's my auntie greeting me. So in our language, there is knowledge, awareness of reincarnation. That is the purpose of this teaching. So I am juggling your memory, you ancient souls, you wise souls on young men. Like, there's an example of young wise soul on a young shoulder. Adam Abbott is a wise soul on a young shoulder. The teachers, the forerunner of the Hebrew Israelites, those are souls those are old souls come back. Because you have to be old souls to remember, to be roused, to remember the past, to remember the ancient past. You are old souls. You see them preaching and they were coming out with scriptures. This memory is coming from there. Sometimes they'll say things, they don't know why they say it. They don't know how it came out. I talk like that too. I just say something, it came out right there and there. It is not what I planned to say. It just came out. How I did it, how I know it, how I know that thing, I don't know. It just came out. Those are old souls. So, if you can receive reincarnation, receive it. It is your culture. And the Bible tells you, the scriptures, all over the scriptures, they cannot scrub that all of it out. And you have seen that UK, the Express newspaper UK, which I showed you in my last video, Reincarnation. I'll title this video Reincarnation 2. I'll title it 2 so that you can follow it. Express UK newspaper came out with it. Reincarnation is part of the scripture that the people, that the early father of the script of the Christian church, they scrub out every appearance of reincarnation in the scripture. This Psalms is so timely. It is a psalm of the last days. Psalm 9. Go and read it. And if you are able to read Hebrew, the Hebrew, not modern Hebrew, I'm talking Phoenician Hebrew, the Phoenician Hebrew, the language of Canaan land, which is Zion land. Language that Ezra spoke, language that Nehemiah spoke. Phoenician Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew is the language that Ezra spoke. Yeah. I will give thanks to thee, Yahweh, with my whole heart. I will recount all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praises to thy name, O thou most high. When my enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sattest on the throne that judges right. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever. O thou enemy, destructions are come to perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorial is perishing them. But Yahweh shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he shall judge the earth. He shall judge the earth in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness. Yahweh also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in a time of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou hast not forsaken them that seek thee, Yahweh. Sing praises to Yahweh, who dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his works. When he maketh inquisition for blood, God require blood. When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth the ensign. He forgetteth not the cry of the poor. Have mercy upon me, Yahweh. Consider my trouble. Of them that hate me, thou that liftest me up from the gates of death. And I will show forth thy praise, that I will show forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation. The heathens are sunk down in the pit they made, in the net which they hid. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. Yahweh is known by the judgment he executed. In the work of his own hand, the wicked is snared. The wicked shall be turned into hell, all the heathens that forget the power. So this line deals with Israelites. 2/3 of Israelites who forsake the Lord, who gone off to as in northern Israel, who gone off to northern and southern, both all of them combined. They've forgotten the Lord. They've forgotten their power. They've forgotten their fathers. This line deliberately deals with them. The other ones, the heathens, dealing with the heathens. For the needy shall not be perpetually forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, Yahweh. Let not mere mortal men prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, Yahweh, that the heathens may know that they are mere mortals. That is what is going to happen in the end of days. Now, my next video is going to be about end of days. What? Now, measure the time. God told Ezra to measure the time. See, God does not tell us specific date and hour of time and seconds, but He tells us measure the time. When this happened, you know this and that is the time. So that is the video, my next video. I hope you receive this word, Akim, and may God give you courage as you go about your business and stay strong. Oh, we are late in the night. The night is fast spent. I can tell you this. The night is fast spent. We are so near to our salvation than was previously. Hence the word Shalama. Shalom is a two-edged word. Shalom, rescue and salvation. Rescue and revenge or recompense. That's what shalom means. Rescue and recompense. Shalama. It's a language, it's an agricultural language of the farmers, of the shepherd who watches over the hill and watches the animals. This is a language of the shepherd, language of our fathers. Language of our father, Shalama. It means revenge and also means rescue. So whenever you speak, you are praying and you're also invoking the cause. A cause towards the evil, and also invoking or reminding God, rescue. You promise rescue. You promise to deliver us. You promise salvation. So Shalama means rescue, salvation. It means also recompense, revenge. For you Christians, did your pastor tell you this?